This week is a little personal for me. This is a big one for me. So it's really about choosing self-compassion over perfectionism when we get right down to it. And so I am a recovering perfectionism, and I know just how easy it is for me to fall back into the habit of putting way too much pressure on myself and falling, what I call unconscious. I'm still awake, but I'm not very present. And so I fall into this unconscious, habitual state of needing to get things right or needing to get them done or to do better or to be better or just to be everything for everyone. And as a perfectionist, if you are one, or maybe you don't know you are one, but there's this unrealistic, invisible height you got to try to achieve. And that's that do more, be more. And so in our personal development group, we are going through the 4 agreements. And the 4th agreement is always do your best. So, and I'll explain a little deeper about what that means. But as a perfectionist, if you're not aware that you're a perfectionist and you hear that always do your best, you can just go into, yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm always trying to do my best in your own mind of where you have to achieve. And it's unachievable. It just absolutely is. And so there are 2 hidden habits that sabotage us when you get in this what I call a loop of perfectionism, completely unaware, and it can take us over. And there's 2 hidden habits that are both very fear-based. One is being self-critical, never feeling like what we do is enough. And a big part of that is we minimize what we have done. We minimize our achievements. We don't take some time to just, look at how far I have come, or look at what I've already done. Instead, we're hyper focused on mistakes. I should have done better. I should know better. I've got to do better. And so that's that putting way too much pressure on ourselves. That's that perfectionism. Feeling like we just can't do it all because we can't, right? We feel like we're doing it wrong. We're not doing enough. And the other thing with perfectionism is, as a perfectionist, when you're in that loop, you don't want to ask for help. You don't like asking for help. And so what happens is you're trying to hit these unrealistic goals that you have set for yourself. Always doing my best. I'm going to just achieve more. But you can't do it. So then your inner critic, it just comes up, and you berate yourself. You're hard on yourself. You criticize yourself. Consistent. It's a loop. You can't ever achieve this. You can't do better. You can't do better than your best. If you're showing up doing your best, that is enough. But the perfectionist is always needing to do better. And so you get in this loop of just criticizing yourself, never enough. So perfectionism keeps us in high alert. It really does. It tricks our mind into thinking that if we just could do better, then we'll finally feel like we're enough. And that's just simply a lie. We feel like we're in control. We have the need to control things, so we feel like we're in control when we're trying to micromanage everything and do better and be better. But that's one of the biggest lies, because the one thing that I learned the hard way being a perfectionist is that my perfectionism drove my life into a state of out of control. Being a perfectionist for me disconnected me from who I was, right? It got in the way of and it gets in my way of progress. It gets in the way of my creativity. It gets in the way of my intuition. And so what's the antidote for this? So the antidote first is presence. Because I spoke about when I would be unconscious. I'm awake, I'm totally aware, I'm living, I'm driving, but I'm unconscious in my presence. All I see is I've got to do better, be better, get everything done. And I put all of this pressure on myself. And then I'm in the loop of criticizing myself because I can't possibly do it. So it's that presence piece. Come here. I always put my hand on my heart. I take a couple of deep breaths. And the second part is self-compassion. So if you can come into the present moment and draw into self-compassion and choose that, recognize, whoa, I'm back into that space of believing, that I have to do better and be better, that, I have to do it all myself. And then I realize, well, wait a minute. And this is where the fourth agreement comes in. Always do your best. I have to get out of that perfectionist mindset to realize that true teachings of Don Miguel Ruiz, always do your best. And it really is about softening and coming into my heart and my body and realizing that, you know what, always doing my best means I got to check in with myself. It's about being present, not perfect. And when I'm in that place of presence, I can breathe and I can realize, oh, I'm being so self-critical of myself. Instead, I'm going to draw into self-compassion. Because always doing your best means that doing your best changes in any given moment. When I am doing my best, when my energy level is up and I've had a good night's sleep and I'm, doing exercises and feeding my body well, my energy level is pretty good. And my best is, pretty awesome. But as a perfectionist, I can hold myself at that standard. No. And even that, as a perfectionist, I want to do better. No, 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 no. But what if one day I wake up and I'm tired? Or I'm not feeling well? Or just something's off? Well, you know what? My best in that moment, when I realize that, my energy level's a little low. I don't need to fix it. I just need to have compassion and say, my best now is going to be different because I'm tired today or I'm not feeling well today. So it's all about taking that pressure off of ourselves. Get out of the loop by being present, breathing, okay, coming in, self-compassion. Okay, I'm out of the loop of needing to do things more and criticizing myself because I can't be better, do better. Get out of the loop. I'm now very present. What am I feeling? How can I show up today? I want to show up today just doing my best. Take the pressure off of myself. This is about being present, not perfect. Then I soften into compassion. I listen to my body. This is now when I can listen to my intuition. Right? I don't have control. That's when I remember I don't have control over anything. Right? I really don't. If I can just show up and do my best in this moment, realize, oh, right, I don't have control over anything. Right? I need to just do my best and hand the rest over to some power that's way greater than me. So realizing as a perfectionist, when I get caught up in putting so much pressure on myself, that I have to scale back, right? Doing my best isn't about what I produce. It's about how I show up, like with love, with honesty, show up present. Because I know when I get caught in the loop, I'm showing up in fear. That's what being self-critical of ourselves are, and not being able to ask for help, needing to do things better, hyper-focused on all of the mistakes. I should know better. I should do better. Woo! That's just a heavy burden to carry. And it blocks that intuition. It blocks the progress. It blocks what I'm really trying to achieve. So knowing that my best looks different in this moment than maybe yesterday at some certain moment, that's where this teaching of always doing your best is such a powerful awareness. I'm still learning this. Oh boy, do I still catch myself in that loop of self-criticism and perfectionism. But I'm learning now to pause. And you know what? Here's that tapping. I can always tap in. There's a triple warmer. Triple warmer is an energetic system within our body. And when perfectionism is running the show, right, or our ego is running the show, perfectionism keeps up on high alert. And your triple warmer it's just working overtime, but it's creating chaos in your body. So this particular tapping point right between your fourth finger and your pinky, tap that. Just learn to pause, to breathe, to become present. Okay? Come into self-compassion. Listen, I am taking the pressure off myself, right? Then I can speak kindly to myself. And then I can say, okay, where am I pushing myself instead of supporting myself? Am I taking the moment to appreciate the big wins instead of focusing on the mistakes? Right? And am I celebrating what I'm doing well and how far I have come? Oh, and then can I offer myself compassion instead of criticism when I do fall short? And then I can bring balance. Then I can bring balance. Then I can come from a place of creativity and a place of intuition, a place of self-love and self-compassion, not fear and self-criticism. So that's what this week is all about. And it's a couple of weeks. I'm not back here until July 7th, I believe, is the next Monday, because I'm in a silent retreat next week. So we've got a couple of weeks to just really take the pressure off of ourselves, speak kindly to yourself, come into presence and self-compassion, and just break that loop. Recognize when you're in that loop and just break that loop of self-criticism and, those words, I got to do better, be better. No, you just got to show up as your best self, do your best in that moment, practice that. It's a mindset. It's a coming home to yourself. So always do your best, my friends. Namaste.